Yes.
So what's the most interesting form of real estate investment that you've seen?
Interesting.
Or different, or maybe it's not
Um,
just, "Hey, I'm buying a house to rent it out."
I mean, helping an individual, I don't want to say it's interesting or different, but just helping an individual like build a real estate portfolio of investment properties that
Right.
brings in enough income that allows them to retire
That's really
early.
cool.
But it is mostly like rental properties, not flipping,
Right, right.
just buy and hold.
So when you have a client come to you that's like, "Hey, I wanna start a portfolio," maybe they don't have one yet or they don't really have a vision. What would your first steps when you talk to them, what are the first steps you tell them that they need to do?
I mean, like they need to know like what they can afford.
Right.
Um, they need to make sure their finances are in order. They need to find out what type of property they want to invest in,
Mhm.
where they want to invest their money. I mean, there's a lot of things
Right.
that you guys are, but I would say first and foremost, like where do you want to invest and what type of property do you want to invest in?
What about you, Melissa?
Lots of questions like, what are your goals? What's your experience? And then let's build on that. So, I mean, there's a million ways to build wealth in real estate. Like, I just did the Spartan 5K up in Concord.
Yes, that's really cool.
It was a blast, but I pull up and there's like this mansion in the middle of like 200 acres. And I'm like, genius. This person lives in their mansion and leases their land for, the Spartan and I'm sure potentially a ton of other races. And then they're,
Probably
you're thinking
events
how many
too.
hundred thousands people did that race and they're netting that profits while they sit pretty in their, big mansion in Concord. And so that's a great example of you can
Mhm.
lease your land for your benefit.
That's really cool.
So, yeah, that was kinda eye-opening for me, like,
That's
we're
different.
not thinking
That is
about all of the ways. Yeah, you can lease land, you can lease commercial. I was just talking to Teresa in light of the Masters that just happened, like, have you heard of the Augusta rule? So it's a tax benefit, you can rent your property anywhere in the US for up to 14 days, and you don't have to claim it on your taxes. And that's in light of people renting their
mhm.
homes for around the Masters, and then, you know, it became a tax benefit to not have to write that off. As long as you don't operate your business in your home, you can rent your house up to 14 days for the going rate. Like, you can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna lease it for 1,000 a day," but whatever the going rate is in your property, and you don't have to claim that
That's
as.
really cool.
Isn't that cool? Yeah, not a lot of people know about that, but
Yeah.
we have the Wells Fargo coming
I was
up.
gonna say,
Like,
yeah.
I live in South Charlotte. If I didn't work out in my home, I could totally take advantage of that benefit, but
Mhm.
I'm telling everyone, like,
Right.
rent your home out, put it on,
Yeah.
Airbnb, put it on Facebook Marketplace and, rent it out and make a little profit and go on a cruise.
That's really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the value of a realtor. You guys work in this every day and you talk to more people than anybody else in the world when it comes to, hey, I want to invest, right? Maybe financial advisors talk to, but when it comes to investing in real estate, they aren't talking to as many people as y'all do. Like that is a great idea. Which made me think of I have a friend of mine who their group of investors buys farms and then they turn those farms back into the natural lands because people don't realize a lot of times on farms there's dams and stuff because it was
Mhm.
wetland before or whatever.
Mhm.
And then they take that money and they sell or well, they get credits for the natural lands and then they sell the credits to the home developers who are building these big developments in different areas because they have to have a certain amount of credits. So they make the money off the credits. And then on top of that, it's 600 acres. So they're leasing it to a cattle rancher. So not only are they making money off the investment,
Mhm.
but they're making money off leasing of the land too. And they host events and stuff. They have like a skeet shooting course out there. So they'll host events and do things of that nature and just get other forms of income coming in.